Morning guys, it's Kelsey from Briar Farm. We are going to be milking this morning, but it's going to be a little bit different than what we've been doing so far this year. Now that school is out and we have our mornings available, we're switching to morning milking because we can separate the kids from their mamas overnight. And they're plenty old enough for that. You can actually start at 2 weeks, and now our kids are all about 8 weeks, 8.5 weeks old now. So they're plenty old enough to go all night without mom. So the kids had a sleepover here in the barn last night, and we're gonna milk the mamas before we reunite them for the day. So we should get way more milk than we have been. So I'm curious to see how they stack up, and we'll also get to see how nice the mamas' udders look when they're nice and full, and they haven't had kids nursing on them. So here's Karen. She is not a dairy goat, but she's been working like one. She's actually been doing a great job producing milk. Her udder's a little bit lopsided, but she fed her twins really well and then had so much extra milk. I've been milking her for the last couple weeks. Even though she's not a dairy goat, she's doing a great job working like one. She doesn't make a ton of volume of milk, but she has a lot of fat. So here's Pam. Pam's a second freshener, so usually by a second time a goat kid's, her udder looks more like it will for the rest of her life. So Pam's had 2 sets of twins, and both times her twins have only nursed on one side. I bet you can guess which one side that is. So I think she's created a little bit of unevenness in her udder, and we have milked her to try and keep her more even. But it obviously hasn't been perfect. But she's a really good producer, and she's healthy, and I do think her udder's up high enough. She's a good girl. All right, so we have Starla up on the milk stand. Starla's last kids went to her new home 2 days ago. So we started milking her yesterday morning, but her udder looks awesome. It's super round and globular. Her teats are nice and wide so they can hold a lot of milk. So every squirt you get a lot of milk out. And it's really well attached and up high, well supported. She's got a really nice looking udder, much better than her mom. Pam's udder, you noticed, was really unbalanced, and that's because I blame myself for that. Pam her milk came in so hot and heavy to start with that I didn't do a good job right away of getting in there to help, and she became unbalanced and would only nurse kids. All right, so when we breed Pam, we need to be really careful that we choose a buck that will complement her. So her udder could use more support and better attachment like Starla's, and it's really nice and balanced. So when we look for a buck to breed to Pam, I want to make sure I find a buck that his dam has really good udder attachment and support, a nice high udder. And Pam's teats are much more narrow and don't hold as much milk, so it takes more squirts to get the same amount of milk out of Pam relative to Starla. So we did a great job when we bred Pam to Windy Way Willie to get Starla. We chose wisely, and Starla is a big improvement over her mother. And I think our buck Dutton will be a really good complement to Pam. So I'm excited to see in the future what Pam and Dutton's kids look like. But it's time to get Starla milked out. All right, so this is Fawn. Fawn is from excellent milking lines, and you can tell the difference between her udder and Pam's is remarkable. Fawn's openings on her teats are much bigger, so a lot more milk comes out with each squirt. And her udder is held up nice and tight and high. Now Fawn is a first timer, so I expect next year as a second freshener, she should look even better. She also seems to have the best manners on the milk stand.
Yes, she's
Alright, so here's Phyllis. She's another first freshener.
Oh, that's a call.
Look out, May.
Sorry.
So Phyllis had her first kidding this year. She's 2 years old now, and she had triplets. So this'll kind of be, we've tried milking her a couple times, but she still has her daughter on her. So we separated them last night. So I'm excited to see how much she gives us today. She's been a little bit stingy the last couple times we've tried her. And our milk machine may not be very good today. There we go. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.